Hello. We are going to demonstrate, or I am, how to do, I do the intuitive reading, which is how I do my readings. This is more of a technique if you got more of a contact with your soul, your guides, your power people up there who's, you get urges, you get feelings that something's right. While I'm shuffling, Bertie, can you tell me what your question is?
Give me a moment and I will do that. It's kind of one of those thinking, what question should I ask? And that's another thing, is this one's a little bit more free-flowing because it's not a set number of cards and it's not a set number, they don't have a formal definition.
Yes. You don't find this one in a book.
No. Well, I have an interesting one,
yes.
A little bit. I know this is going to be dating the video, so to speak, but too bad. I know the card of the week that we just did was Limbo.
Yes.
And that was sort of like, oh my goodness, I thought we were done with that space, at least for a little while. Whine. So I would love to know some more information about that.
Yeah, just how the guides or whoever meant
yes,
Limbo.
definitely.
Okay,
if that was a reading, that was like, clarification cards, please.
Okay, I'm getting an urge to shuffle 3 more times.
Okay.
1,
Those
2,
big man hands that can do the cards the long ways. Wow.
3. I'm getting an urge to do 4 cards.
Okay.
Okay. Daring to sprout. Blooming forth your best self. Connecting to the land.
Okay.
And things are not always as they appear.
And folks, come here, puppy. Come on. You're going to be able to see that, but this is one of the things I adore about this deck, with a positive adore, because our deck will give you answers like that. So they're blunt but kind at the same time. So anyway, I'm having my thoughts, but I would love to hear yours since you were the reader at this moment.
Okay, during this, remember we're talking about the Limbo card?
Yeah.
And I think Limbo is 2 things. I think she mentioned at the time about Limbo being, taking a breath and going to the space where creativity is and actually come up with the proper answer. I think that's part of it. And part of it is part of self-imposed limbo by, here, the first card, daring to sprout. This thing right here.
Yes.
There's a lot of times we come over ideas, we start doing projects, and both of us are kind of shy types.
I know,
we
believe it or not.
are, very much the classic wallflower types.
Yeah, sadly.
Like things are going to magically appear on the internet. People magically going to see them, So I think daring to sprout is just saying, be out there, stop being a wallflower, dare to sprout. Let the universe know you exist. Get out there and, clamor as loud as you can, go out there and peddle your wares and make sure people know you got wares to peddle.
And one thing that I got as an interesting little picture when you were saying about the wallflower thing is just get out on the dance floor and dance by yourself at first, and then people will join you.
Yeah.
So, okay.
The second card is this one, blooming forth your best self. Daring to spell is fine and dandy, but stop and think a little bit about what story are you telling your audience? What information are you trying to impart? What, out of what you're doing or what you're saying, do you want your people to know? I think that's very important. It goes a really good pair card with daring to sprout and blooming forth your best self. That's very much a case of, get out there and get out there with the right message.
And to me, it's also kind of cool, especially with some of the other stuff, that that it's also saying, yes, take the time, go and revamp that menu, go make the gray box go away and stay away, switch server, host if you have to so you can get a decent load time, whatever, so that it's not only us, our message, but also our presentation that's the best it can be.
And the next card is connecting to the land. Connecting to the land, I don't take this literally. I think connecting to the land means connecting with your people. Find out who your people are. Who are your customers? Who are the best people who really can benefit by knowing us? And connecting with them. I think just as there's a picture of this red dog here, very carefully traversing this environment with all these tree roots. I think, the parallel to the internet is very obvious. And, just as Red Dog is very careful, probably sniffs everything, being very careful where he is, I think we should be very careful, not just jump in everything, but actually being very picky about where we go and how we do it, who we do it with.
And one thing, if I may, real quick with that, and it also kind of ties in with the last card too, which I thought was very cool, is a little bit of the story behind this photograph that Nathara shared with us. That she was saying that she was out, taking a picture of all the nature and this and that, and then suddenly, as she was taking a picture, thought those roots were so cool, she was taking the picture, and suddenly Red Dog was in the picture, and she just, basically hit the button, and then he left as mysteriously as he'd appeared. So it's also saying that they are out there. And they may pop up just in that kind of out of the blue situation.
It's a wonderful story.
Hey,
those kind of stories all through our deck. I mean, there's stories behind all of them.
Which is actually going to be another video series that we're getting ready to launch, but another show, literally.
And the last card is things not always as they appear, which I think is a reassurance card.
Yes,
we don't mean limbo the way you originally take limbo. It doesn't mean you'll be stopped dead in your tracks or you're in Quicksandville,
Yes.
It's not as they appear. And so I think that's very reassuring. And don't take things literally, and always don't take anything necessarily at face value. Stop and think about what things mean deep down.
Right.
And that's true about any of the readings that you do, and not just this card deck, but all card decks. You have a book meanings. Obviously, there's always a book with some kind of meaning there. And you have pictures. You might actually decide that there's one aspect of the picture that reminds you of something, and that's your guide up there tapping you on the shoulders. That's what I mean.
Well, for me, if I may, the blue balloons. Blue, for me, is serenity. And also in the ocean of beginnings. So it's a matter of chill out. Your beginnings are coming. It's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's a very good. I think that's a very good story behind that. I think it's reassuring, hopefully, to Bertie that it wasn't a bad card at all.
No, and it's also not the frustration of again, still, how much longer must we wait?
So it's not about waiting at all. It's
no, we are really on the right track, and it's all good.
And this aspect is an action card, not necessarily. Because even if you're stopping and playing and thinking, you're trying to use your tools, such as this one,
yes, as a matter of fact.
It's about making the right decision and we acting more efficiently. We only have a certain number of hours a day, and some of it's taken up with food, some of it's taking care of animals.
And other children.
Having to take care of yourself, sleeping, whatever. So the time you do spend on doing stuff have done more efficiently. That's one of the values of psychic functioning, and not just card decks, but all variety of types of psychic functioning that we will talk more about in these video series. So it's not just a play toy, it's something that can be very helpful.
Psychic life hacks.
Yeah, you've got to be willing to accept them, you've got to be willing to allow for them, and you can't let them replace your own common intelligence, and never take one piece of information as do-all, be-and-all, no matter what it is. But as a tool, as an add-on, as a help, these are very nice. So until next time, this is Mike Diamond with Bertie Diamond, and more coming later.
And they're Bassett Bailey.
Yes, and Bailey.